Hey guys, it's Jay, and today I'm going to be telling you about the time that I was a lesbian. So if you guys caught my video last week, the intro week, I told you that I identify as male, that I'm a female to male transgender person, and that I am pansexual as far as my sexuality goes. And believe it or not, it's not always been like that. Like I said before, I've been dating my boyfriend for about 8 years, but if we want to be honest here, it's kind of been on and off. Now, while I believe that's really nobody's business, I am going to give you guys a little bit of an explanation to that, just because it kind of goes along with the story. So about 2.5 to 3 years into our relationship, I told my boyfriend that I thought I might be bisexual because I felt a certain way, but I couldn't really explain it. Some part of me felt like I was supposed to be with women, but I wasn't sure if it was because I was attracted to them or because I just needed to be with them. I know that doesn't make much sense to you maybe, but that's just how my brain was working at that time. So after all that happened, I started talking to one of my friends who had just revealed to me that she was a lesbian and actually told me that she found me extremely attractive, which was different for me because I never had a female tell me that I was attractive before. We had been friends for about 4 years, so it kind of weirded me out, but at the same time I thought, maybe this is who I'm supposed to be with and this is who I'm supposed to be, because I guess she's attractive and she's a female, and if I find her somewhat attractive, I should be with her, right? So I told my boyfriend this, and I explained to him how I thought I was a lesbian because I'm supposed to be with women, and that's how I felt, and he was actually really accepting about it, which is why he's such an amazing person and why I love him so much to this day. So for all purposes of this video, I don't want to release any names of people from my past, so we're just gonna go ahead and call her Anna. So once I started seeing Anna, things were going great. I was seen as a stud in the lesbian community, and that was fine with me because I was like, yeah, I like dressing like a guy, I like looking like a guy, so obviously I'm a stud. Now this is where it gets kind of interesting because I went and I told Anna, hey, I saw on YouTube something about FTMs and how they actually want to transition into males, and I think that's who I am. And now, here's something that happens a lot to a lot of trans guys when they're dating women and they might think that they're females. This was Anna's response.
But I like women, so you're a woman, and if you decide you don't want to be a woman, we can't be together.
So at this point, I really didn't know what to do because I thought that I might be transgender, but I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it, and I didn't know much about the trans community. And my boyfriend, he was my ex at the time, him and I weren't really talking, and I didn't have many friends besides Anna, so I just kind of put it off to the side and forgot about it and said, you know what, you're right, I don't want to be a man, I'm a stud, and that's how it's gonna be. Well, let me tell you, hiding something like that for a really long time sucks. I would look up things on YouTube, and then when she was around, if she grabbed my phone, I would like hurry up and grab it from her because I didn't want her to see my YouTube history. I had looked at ordering binders and talked to her about it again, but she kept giving me negative responses, so I just kept pushing it off and pushing it off until one day I finally had enough. Without going into further details, basically I told her I just didn't think it was going to work out, and she didn't like that very much. But I needed to do whatever I needed to do for myself because I wanted to be comfortable. So it had been about a couple of weeks, and my boyfriend was actually staying at my parents' house with us because of some personal reasons, and him and I started talking, and I explained to him how I felt that I was transgender and I didn't know what to do and I was worried, and he actually comforted me and told me everything was gonna be okay. After this, him and I talked about possibly getting back together, and I told him that if he was with me that I would present as male, and I was worried that I didn't want anyone to make fun of him or bring him down, and he told me he didn't care. He wasn't saying he didn't care that I was trans, and he wasn't saying he didn't care about my feelings. He was saying he didn't care what people thought, and that's why he's such a great person. So people started calling me Jace around the school because I had asked them to do that, and I didn't want them to call me Jay at the time because that was the name that I was going by when I was out as gay, because it was close to my birth name, but I didn't like my birth name, so Jay was just easier. Now I don't care because a lot of people happen to know me by that, and it's just a short name. Doesn't really bother me. As long as you don't call me by my birth name, we're good. All this was happening around my junior year, I believe, and it was kind of hard because people didn't understand what it meant to be transgender. There weren't any trans people in my school, and we didn't even have an LGBT club at the time. Now fast forward a year, I actually had 2 senior years because I had to stay back a year. So my first senior year, I actually was in the sociology class with one of my favorite teachers ever, and I explained to her how I was trans, and she had a proposition for me. She told me that if I wanted to, I could sit in her classroom all of her sociology classes to talk to them about gender identity and expression and explain to them what it means to be transgender. Of course, I wasn't speaking for every single transgender person on this planet. I was just speaking from my personal experiences, and I believe that I helped out a lot. I would say the tolerance level in my school went up, especially when it came to bullying, because I was bullied quite a lot before I went and did those talks, and afterwards people kind of laid off for a while, and it was great. Fast forward 5 years, my boyfriend and I are still together. He loves me for who I am, and everything is going great. Now, I am pre-everything, and I'm not sure that I will medically transition just because right now I'm in a place where I might want children sometime, so it's kind of up in the air. But no matter what, he told me he'll support me. If that means I want top surgery and to go on testosterone, he'll support me. If I want top surgery but not to go on testosterone, he'll support me. It doesn't matter to him. As far as my pansexuality goes, that I kind of figured out when I was dating my ex-girlfriend, Anna, because I knew I didn't just like women, but I knew that I didn't just like men, and then I realized I really didn't care what people had between their legs as long as they treated me like a human being. So, if you treat me right, I like you. So I guess that's when I decided I was pansexual. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, my name is Jay. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you know whenever we make videos. I'm your Wednesday, and also look in the description below for my links. Follow me and subscribe to my channel so you can see the videos that I put out on my personal channel. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Jay again, and I'll see you guys later.